Welcome to Rad2, another daily reader for Reddit. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. Anthony Bourdain once said, "There's a guy in my head, and all he wants to do is lay in bed all day long, smoke pot, and watch old movies and cartoons. My life is a series of stratagems to avoid and outwit that guy." Who is that guy for you? And what do you do to avoid him? Is this Black Mirror? I swear I've seen this situation before. Fair compromise as long as it stays like that, I say. I've been trying to negotiate some extra time in the evenings for working out and/or hobbies, but he says it will cut into his 4-hour gaming sessions. Edit. You've all given really good advice. I think we're close to reaching an agreement. Being completely serious here, calisthenics, they're easy. You don't gotta have weights or any other workout equipment, and you can just do like 20 squats and push-ups a day and see decent results over time. Also, get Guy to watch Naruto. When he sees Lee drop his weights, he'll want to start working out more. I used to have a little sign on my desk that said the worst possible feeling is when the person you are meets the person you could have been. It was there to encourage to pursue my goals rather than procrastinate on games, Reddit, etc. I think it's time I dug that sign out again. This made me think of my mother. She was abused as a child and repeated such onto me and my sister, as well as other cruel things. I have the backstory of a villain. That's who I could have been. Who I should have been. I'm supposed to be my mother or my sister, who didn't handle their abuse well. I'm not handling it well, either. I have PTSD and memory loss, but I don't break the law or hurt people. I'm not them. So, when I see the person I could have been, I pat myself on the back. I think this freaked me up as much as retirement is a monetary number, not an age. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but being broke doesn't buy you crap. Ouch. Worse than that Ben Franklin quote, "A man can die at 25 and not be buried until he's 75. It could also be the best feeling in the world, when you realize how screwed up you aren't. Carl Jung said, "If we deny the shadow self, we only feed it." That guy's kicking my butt right now. You should flip it around. That person is trying their hardest to get you going, but you are fighting back. Are you feeling alright, man? You gotta fight back, man. H is a lazy stoner, he can't be that good of a fighter. This was somehow insanely philosophical to me. Stoned cold sober. Sobriety is a trick. Serenity, brother. Serious question. Is there a stigma for pot users at ANA meeting? I know there's already an idea of you can't get addicted to pot, and it just feels awkward to go to NA for the lightest drug when people are dealing with crack and heroin. I've heard that people who go to rehab for pot get teased. The last thing I need is people telling me I'm making it up. Nah, at least at the NA meetings I went to, instead of naming a specific drug, we just called it Doc, drug of choice. What is NA? AA equals Alcoholics Anonymous, NA equals Narcotics Anonymous, Ra equals the Egyptian sun god, BA equals the sound a sheep makes. All that guy wants to do is do Reddit and play video games. I don't do anything to avoid him. I did something similar when my daughter was born crazy early and sick. She lived for 11 months and spent the whole time in the hospital. When my wife went in for her C-section, I wasn't allowed due to it being full sedation or some nonsense. I just sat by myself in the pre-surgery room waiting like an idiot, not sure what to do. So I imagined old school 1990s Wolverine sitting there with me just for the company. I remember asking him, myself, what the hell I was going to do. You know that angry, scared state you get into. I remember what Logan, I told myself. There isn't anything easy about this. You are just going, you have to stand strong the way I showed you. And you ain't alone, bub. Phew, okay, I'm crying right now typing this from just the memory. Funny how things get to you. Still, I hope he would be proud of me as I never ran away or quit or anything and did my best. Probably sounds kind of stupid, but it helped for whatever it's worth. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver. Cool little token. This is possibly the best take on mindfulness I've ever read, the idea of space between emotion or stimulus and action being filled with Mr. Spock. Lol. I love it. This is the best self-care strategy I've ever heard of. Spock care. That guy wants to settle for anything out of fear of nothing better coming later. That guy is okay with the dead-end job, the abusive relationships and no master's degree. I tell that guy it's never gotten me anywhere. It's the definition of stuck, and I have no intention of being stuck anymore. You'll only go to prison if you get cow weight. Wrong comment section. If you ever decide to do it, just don't be fully nude. Then you'll be arrested and have to register as a sex offender. Noted. I'll wear socks. I have the exact same guy in my head. I quit smoking pot years ago. Before I hit 30, I can still stay in bed all day on some days. What keeps me from doing it? Having a 24 hours laying on my laptop. Too often are commitments I've made to myself, friends, and employers. Back in the day, pot made it really easy to give up on those commitments. I miss pot, but I don't miss those times in general, which keeps me from going back. I like Randy Marsh's quote about it from South Park. Well, Stan, the truth is marijuana probably isn't gonna make you kill people, and it most likely isn't gonna fund terrorism. But, well, son, pot makes you feel fine with being bored, and it's when you're bored that you should be learning some new skill or discovering some new science or being creative. If you smoke pot, you may grow up to find out that you aren't good at anything. I've a bit of a different take to Randy's. I've a little audio studio that I goof around making tracks in most days. When I used to smoke pot, I'd get in these grooves where I'd be jamming on my synth, mixer, drum machines, rolling along, twisting and tweaking sound just for the sake of the sound. It took me a really long time to find that creative headspace again after I quit smoking. It's just something about being carefree and creative when high that I never really feel when I'm sober. My whole life is a series of stratagems to enable that guy to spend as much time in bed watching cartoons as he can without ending up homeless or unable to pay for weed. Excuse me, but I am you. That guy is my ADHD. I probably have an extreme case where my meds, which are at high doses, hardly even work anymore. The best way I combat this urge to do something fun, play games, or goof off is to remove myself from any place of temptation. Cut it off before you get the thought of even doing something pleasurable. What I do is that I find empty classrooms at my college and study or do work in there. I will purposefully drive away from my home, which is full of games, food, fun, and comfort, to a classroom just so I don't get the urge. And even if I do, I've created a barrier that takes too much guilt and effort of driving back and doing something fun. Source: www.mensjournal.com. Look, I understand that inside me there is a greedy, gluttonous, lazy, hippie. You know, I understand that free time is probably my enemy. That if I'm given too much free time to contemplate the mysteries of the universe, I'm afraid of that inner hippie emerging. There's a guy inside me who wants to lay in bed and smoke weed all day, and watch cartoons, and old movies. I could easily do that. My whole life is a series of stratagems to avoid and outwit that guy. I make sure I commit to projects based on, will they be interesting? I like to keep momentum going. I'm aware of my appetites, and I don't let them take charge. It goes back to heroin. If heroin, or delicious food, is the number one thing on the to-do list every day, there probably won't be a number two thing on your things to-do list, you know. He knew that at himself, which shows incredible insight. He also killed himself, showing that knowing oneself isn't the end solution to fixing yourself. I accept that she exists, and love her back to health. That guy wants to die. Unsure how to avoid him. Copious amounts of caffeine seems to do okay. Hope everything is going okay, man. It's okay if it's not. PM if you want to. I'm no stranger to that sort of feeling. But we are both commenting here, so we certainly haven't lost yet. I don't know if I'd listen to life advice from a guy that killed himself. Maybe he should have listened to that guy on the inside a little more. Thanks for watching Rad 2. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. If you like these videos, check out the original Rad channel, Rad